you giving the briefing?
No. Our field PIO is, so second job.
All right,
Oh,
good.
he has been a job.
No, second day.
I'm sorry.
No, I've been doing this for a few months.
That's over the
I just stay behind the scenes, it's fine. You won't see me in person.
My name's Bree.
Hey,
Not a
you already met me.
Wait a minute. How are you?
Wonderful. How
Good
are
to
you?
see you.
No, it's funny. I pulled up. I was like, oh, there's Jason. I was like,
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You guys remember this from Dad.
yeah, and it's so funny because I was like, yeah, the first time I
Where'd
met
you come from, Eric? Park over there?
We just park right here.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I'm just here to,
You look nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's about second day.
Second day. Yeah. Yeah. Already had to do one the first day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, we just see what's it.
Mark, you want me by you?
Well, they corrected me one time. All right. Everybody ready? Okay. Good morning. I'm District Chief Aaron Biebernetz. I'm the Field Public Information Officer with the Jacksonville Fire and Rescue Department. Today, we unfortunately have to report that we suffered a fatality at a residential structure fire. It was dispatched at 5:49 a.m. Crews from Station 52 arrived on scene to find heavy fire showing from the residents. They made an aggressive interior attack, made entry. They encountered excessive volumes of debris and clutter inside the home, which impeded their advance, but through their training and their absolute fortitude, they pushed through, made an aggressive interior attack, began suppressing the fire. After their efforts, they were able to bring the fire under control at 6:23 a.m. Unfortunately, at 6:42 a.m., they found one female deceased inside the residence. The cause of the fire is unknown at this time. It is under the investigation of the Bureau of Fire, Arson, Explosive Investigations with the state of Florida, and they also work in concert with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to make notification of next of kin. Any further comment will be relayed through the Bureau of Fire, Arson, Explosive Investigation, and the cause will be determined by them at a time to be determined. Are there any questions?
Can you come up with a little bit so we get you?
We understand that the homicide investigation team with JSO has been sent out here. Do we think this is potentially a homicide?
So homicides, let me provide some clarification. There's a difference between homicides and murders.
Intentional is what I meant.
And so right now, the Bureau of Fire Arson doesn't see any intentional right now, but again, once they conclude their investigation, it'll take time. They're going to need to bring their dogs, their canine teams in to determine if there's any accelerants used or any cause outside of what could have been an act of nature or accidental at time.
Did I hear you correctly when you said that when firefighters arrived, there was a lot of clutter?
That's
was
correct.
That like a hoarding situation that you know of?
That is what is perceived right now, is that it was a hoarding situation.
Can you talk about how difficult that makes a firefighter's job when they have to go in and they have those barriers in place that not only prevent them from fighting that fire, but also looking for potential victims?
I can speak to personal experience about that. I've encountered that several times throughout my career. It does create a barrier and it does impede our progress and our advance, but we do train to work aggressively to make those interior attacks. Sometimes there's a large amount of furniture, volume, boxes, and things that we have to move out of the way, but in no way, shape, or form does it completely stop us from doing our job. Our men and women will stop at nothing to come save you.
And I guess it's even more difficult because when you guys went in, it was already nighttime, so not only do you have the barriers, but I take it you've also got the lack of lighting?
Correct. High heat, heavy smoke, large combustible materials give off that smoke. So dealing with the smoke with no lights, high heat, it is very difficult, but again, our men and women will stop at nothing to come get you.
And I know it's still early in the investigation. However, did you guys see any cigarette butts? Do you feel like smoking could have probably had any cause to the fire?
That always could be a potential cause of fire, but given the fact that we're operational personnel and not trained as arson investigators, we leave all of that speculation and determination, absolute cause, up to the BFAEI.
I understand it's still early, but is it safe to say that the deceased was elderly?
I cannot specify that at this time, pending notification next to Ken.
Were there any signs because of the cold weather that it could have been related to space heat or anything like that?
That's always a potential, given our cold weather. Of course, we did dip down to freezing temperatures last night, so that always is potentially a cause. However, we just like to remind people that whenever it is cold outside, to give adequate spacing to your space heaters, not to put them next to any couches, bedding, or anything combustible. Could go with boxes or nightstands, table stands. So leaving that in an open area where the radiant heat is allowed to heat your home, but not too close to you or to your bedding.
Were
Was the
there
space
any
heater
smoke
found?
detectors?
Was the space heater found?
I cannot comment on that. That'll be up to the arson investigators.
Were there any
any other
working
people
smoke
found?
detectors in the home?
That I was not given any information on that. There may be and there might not be.
Were there any other people? You know, you said you found a female inside the residence. Was anybody else that was in the residence that maybe got out?
Not to any information that I was given, no ma'am.
And no
What about
pets or
pets?
animals or anything like that?
No pets or animals that I was made aware of.
Any fire personnel injured or had to be taken?
No JFRD firefighter personnel were injured during this fire.
Is it safe to say, though, too, whenever we get temperatures like this, especially overnight temperatures that dip down into the 20s and the 30s, the likelihood of you guys being called to a house fire tends to go up?
Nationwide, that does seem to be the tendency. So we always remind people again to have those working smoke detectors to make sure that you do establish an escape plan, that you know immediately. You know, you wake up in the middle of the night, you do smell smoke or see smoke, be able to have an escape plan. Know that, you know, if there's an adjacent window that you can egress out of that window, or if there's an immediate door that leads to the outside, to know that you can go outside.
Do you know what part of the house the body was found in?
No, ma'am. That'll be up to the Bureau of Fire Arson to give you that determination.
Have they been able to even identify this woman as of yet?
That's up to JSO Homicide and BFAEI.
And just to confirm, the person was dead when you found them, right? Like they were dead. It was a body you guys found. They weren't alive when you found them.
That's correct. They were deceased upon the crews locating the victim.
And just I know you said that the fire, what caused the fire is still under investigation, but is there any way of determining earlier on what part of the house the fire may have originated?
That's always determined by the arson investigators. There can always be speculation, but the only definitive information that we can give is absolutely by the law enforcement agency investigating the fire.
And how long did it take to finally get the blaze out?
It was dispatched at 5:49 a.m. So given the fact that it was early in the morning, there is pre-burn time and discovery time of when somebody actually located and discovered the fire, but it was brought under control at 6:23 a.m.
Who called 911?
That information wasn't made available to me.
Were there any threats to any neighboring homes at the time?
There were exposures given the fact that it was a trailer park, but again, our men and women were very aggressive in making an interior attack and keeping the fire from spreading.
So it's safe to say it started inside, just.
Safe to say. And they're about to respond on a call.
Is this the first fire fatality of Duval County this year, or is this the second time?
Yes, Shannon, this is the first fire fatality of this year.
Can we get you to say and spell your name one more time?
Okay, it's right here.
Was that B-E-B?
Yeah, Beberniz.
And how do I pronounce that?
Beberniz.
Bernard. And the first name?
Aaron.
Aaron. A-A-R-O-N?
Yes, sir. A.A. Ron.
And
Thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And yeah, so Shannon and I, Shannon's going to be the public information officer. I'll be the field. So Shannon's still the public information officer. I'll be the field public information officer. So anytime we actually have fatality, major alarm, fires, major marine incidents, aircraft incidents, things of that nature, Shannon will be the primary contact. She manages our social media. But anytime that you need a representative to actually give you information, I'll be the one that responds.
Thank you so much.
So you're welcome.
One other question is just unit or
So what happens is that
I know.